You mentioned sort of other solutions there. Now, one of them could be a man that keeps getting linked to Liverpool. This name does not go away. Goncalo Inacio. There's two newspaper reports from Portugal that I've come across this morning, both from yesterday, actually. And one of them says the January move is inevitable, not necessarily to Liverpool, but with Arsenal also pushing to sign Inacio. So I guess the story here is really £52 million release clause as of the summer when he signed that new deal. 22-year-old Portuguese international, left-footed centre-back. And as I put in the agenda, what not to like.
yeah. Look, I mean, he's someone who's clearly he's being fattened up for the sale, isn't he? And I think he has been for a couple of years. You know, he's like you say, he's of an age now where he's becoming an established player. He's obviously already an international, and he's from a club that's traditionally that they sell, don't they? That's their MO. I wouldn't. I've just seen the thing here says Ignacio is surrounded by the Reds.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Like that.
That's what it says. I
wonder who that is. Like sort of just, you know.
Schmadko.
Like, I do like these foreign translations when you get these kind of like, great sort of phraseology. I mean, it depends, doesn't it? If he is the one that Liverpool think he's our centre back option, you know, then and he's available in January, then I think there is a possibility that they would look to do it. But if he isn't, I don't think Liverpool sort of all of a sudden will go, oh God, just me the centre back, get him. You know, I saw there was another link. I think it was Bola said Arsenal favourites to sign him. Now you look at Arsenal, and you think, where's he going to? Is he going to play for them straight away? You know, Gabriel and Saliba look quite good to me at Anfield. I think they've got other centre backs obviously there as well. So I think it might just be. I mean, Portuguese newspapers are pretty good at this, aren't they? That, you know, they make you believe that a move's on the brink all the time. I remember them with Otavio at Liverpool. It was sort of, you know, we're just waiting for the paperwork to be signed, and Liverpool was sort of saying we're not even considering signing them. So I wouldn't always take these type of headlines there, but clearly Inacio will be on the move, I think, in 2024, probably more likely in the summer. But yeah, he's a very good player, and he's someone I think who's going to play in the Premier League before too long. I think at the moment, I'm not sure whether Liverpool will be going right in for a centre back at this moment. But if, you know, Canate was to go down, or I say Joe Gomez was to go down, all of a sudden it does put them in a position where it could undermine their challenge this season. And if there's an opportunity, I think they'd look to do something. Yeah,
that's it for me. Cause I think all of us, Arsenal and Manchester City, are sort of interesting stages now heading into January, because it feels to me as though one piece of business or a couple of pieces of business here and there might just give one of those teams a slight advantage. And I think Inacio falls into that category.
He does, but then you look, last season Arsenal made 3 signings last January, didn't they? They bought Trossard, who's a good player. You know, they bought Jorginho, and they bought Kivior, a young centre back, and you thought, wow, that's a bit of ambition there shown, isn't it? But it didn't really, you know, they fell off, if anything, didn't they? You know, albeit I don't think any of them are bad players. So it's not necessarily a case of just go and do it. You know, I think City, that was a big win for them yesterday at Everton. I think they'll back themselves with this squad and say, well, you know, we'll come on strong. I think Liverpool's one is if the injuries bite, because I think that's what will undermine them. I think if Liverpool had the bulk of the current squad available, I think they'd be quite comfortable. We can take this on and we can really go. But they're probably 1 or 2 away at the moment from, you know, God, heaven forbid, but Van Dijk, you know, for any length of period. Obviously, we're going to find out how they cope without Salah, but fortunately, the forwards are back to cover that. Yeah. You know, heaven forbid Alexander-Arnold was to go down for a couple of weeks or more. But right now, they're not in the sort of crisis point. You know, the fear is that they get there, and so it's whether do you sandbag it before you get there, or do you wait and hope that you don't, and all of a sudden you go, right, okay, we've got through that period. I think January's going to be a massive month for Liverpool. Really is. You know, not just without that, without Salah, without Endo, whose absence will be felt definitely. I think he started the last 5 games, hasn't he?
He'll be really good as well.
Yeah, and you know, exactly, you've seen a difference in him in those games. But also you've got a semi-final in there. I think Chelsea come to Anfield at the end of the month, right at the month. You know, Bournemouth away. That's all of a sudden that looks a far more difficult game than previously. And then you've got Newcastle to start the month. You know, that they're all sort of games that can trip Liverpool up over this period, and I think if they can come out of it unscathed, you know, you think back to that 2022 where similar situation really, wasn't it? A lot of people saying, "Oh, we're going to cope without Salah." I think someone else might have been injured at that. I was Mane, of course, wasn't it? Mane went as well.
Yeah.
And they muddled through a little bit. They beat Palace. I mean, they beat Palace. They got through against Arsenal in the cup, and it was like, right, they really got momentum from that because they sort of dug deep and got through. I think there could be something similar this time. If you can emerge unscathed from this January, you could be in a really strong position when you're sort of getting big hitters back, and you've got that your tails up into February, March.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's hope so anyway. But yeah, I think the Inacio stuff for me, he feels, just from a personal perspective, he does feel like a good fit. He's about to sort of hit that sweet spot of 160 professional games. He's a left-footed centre-back. He does feel a bit, because obviously we've got Gomez covering over there now, and then when Gomez isn't there, Robertson, and then we go to three centre-backs. He just feels like he would fit that mould a lot.
It's just difficult, just logistically it's difficult because Van Dijk's your left-sided centre-back and Van Dijk's your best player at this moment in time. So you're buying a £50 million left-sided centre-back. It's like, well, you're either going to have to play him which is not impossible. I don't think of too many left-footers that play on the right, but you could. It's not. I don't think it's like, impossible. But it's like, well, you're going to spend £50 million on someone who essentially plays in a position that, is nailed down, one of the few positions in the side. But you're right, he's 22. He's coming from a league where Liverpool have had success in the past, and they've shown that, they trust the development in that league. He does tick a lot of boxes. I've watched him a couple of times, and he's a really good player as well. He's great on the ball, quick, tall. There's a lot. There's a lot that makes sense about it, but I'm not sure about January.
Hey everyone, I hope you've enjoyed that snippet of my conversation with the brilliant Neil Jones. If you'd like to watch or listen to the rest of the show, head to redmenplus.com, sign up as a Captain monthly subscriber, and if you use the code KLOPP, that's KLOPP, you will get your first month absolutely free. So you get that show and all the other amazing content we do here at Redmen TV every single day. Take it easy. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a Legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, Legend tier status.